I think it's time we blow this scene. Get everybody in the stuff together. Okay, 3, 2, 1, let's jam.
On today's episode of 1 Minute Reactions React to Black Clover, episode 107, The Battle for Clover Castle. Now, I'm so glad to see we get a slight improvement in overall art and animation, especially in regards to our main characters compared to episode 106. And I have to say, even without you guys telling me about episode 108, I can feel that episode 107 is setting up something big for our best girl, Noelle. Obviously, the new intro and the preview give it away, but I'm really excited to see what they're gonna do with, Noelle donning this set of armor. But before we get to 108, we have to make it through 107. Now, last we left off, the Black Bulls are finally reunited and make their way to the Clover Castle, and along the way, they pick up a couple of stragglers in the form of the newly resurrected Rades, Voltos, and Sally. It seems this team is finally coming together, but we're still down a couple members. I'm talking about Finral, Yami, and Zora, who all happen to be at the World Capital already, making their way to the Clover Castle. Starting out this episode, we see the biggest piece of irony ever. King Augustus is laying into the head of House Vaude. Yes, Finral and Langris's parents. Langris is causing a muck, so it seems the best course of action the king could think of was just, reaming the parents. Meanwhile, who makes it to the castle's entrance? Yes, it's Langris, followed by a slew of Golden Dawns turned elves. And it seems they're there for one reason and one reason only, the destruction of royalty. We're talking about, I believe, the three main bloodlines. It'd be Clover, Silva, and Vermilion. Now, it seems Langris is taking the straight-on approach. I'm assuming he's headed to the king himself. Using that power of deduction, the blonde-haired elf dude is heading to Vermilion because we know for a fact that the green-haired chick with the bullseye pattern on her forehead is heading to House Silva. But before we get into that, Finral and Yami finally make it to the Clover Castle, but some of the Golden Dawns have stayed behind, and with Finral being more of a supportive player, it's basically up to the already tired and damaged Captain Yami. Remember, he took on Charlotte already, so he's got to be pretty tired, but now it's like 4-on-1, so it's looking bad until who shows up? Yes, the creepiest character ever, but he is voiced in the English dub by one of my favorite voice actors, Justin Cook. If you don't know who that is, he is the voice of Yusuke Urameshi in my all-time favorite anime, Yu Yu Hakusho. Yes, Jack the Ripper and his severing magic show up to back up Captain Yami. Him, Yami, Finral, all working together as able to put a stop without killing anybody to this pack of elves. We get this absolutely hilarious moment with Captain Jack saying, "Hey, I'm surprised, Finral, you can actually keep up with me, you can support me. I wouldn't mind teaming up with you again." And Yami's like, no, you're not taking my ride. He's my main source of transportation. It's absolutely hilarious that this is the way that Finral's being fought over, as a vehicle, a mode of transportation. But after everything is said and done, they see the giant elf fortress, this floating rock just barreling towards them. And as it gets closer, something pops up right in its path. Yes, it is a giant bird made out of mercury. We know who this is. Captain Noelle, Mimosa, Kirsch, Mushroom Bro, and Zora have finally made it to the royal capital. And even though it's a small part of this before they break up and go their separate ways, I absolutely love that we showcase how Noelle's inner monologue is the complete opposite of her outer monologue. We see that Finral is ecstatic to see Noelle, yet she's like, "You're 100 years too soon to be worrying about me. Like, you're pathetic." Like, but inside she's, "Oh, I'm so glad he's okay." Like, I love that dual personality. But like I said, there's no time for greetings and salutations. Everyone splits up. It looks like Yami, Finral, and Jack are headed straight right after Langris. Kirsch and Mimosa are going to, I assume, House Vermilion, because Noelle, and Zora head to House Silva. And this is where we get a majority of the action. The Compass Girl, she is just laying waste to everyone. One of the interactions that stuck with me is when she first gets in there and she's just decimating everything. There is this fat royalty dude, this noble, literally takes a maid as a human shield. Compass Elf is able to hit him without hitting her. I was like, oh, that noble was a piece of shit anyways. I'm glad he's down. But then she proceeds to kill the maid too. So it's like, oh fuck. There is just devastation of everything. Whether you see the nobles as evil, but it's evil and the innocent, and that maid was just used as a human shield and now she's dead. Like, it's For some reason, that is just sticking with me. Then we cut to the main family. Yes, the Silvas. And we have Nebra and Solid. Solid is still reeling from the fact that he lost to his little sister, the one they've shunned since, birth. He's obviously having trouble getting over this. Well, you know what? Man up, get over it. Nebra senses that something is amiss, and soon the door just blasts open, and there is the Golden Dawn. I have to say something real quick. I love her design. The green hair. She's cute. She's like a green-haired female Klaus. Like, we even see her adjust her glasses kind of Klaus's, so I like her. I think she's cool. But she busts in, and she notices automatically due to their mana that these guys are royalties. And here is 100% the most interesting part of this entire episode, and this is gonna stick with me. I know I've said that already, but this is the part. Do you guys remember the star ceremony? Where they were actually giving the stars out? Do you guys remember the Wizard King's issue with Nebra? You guys remember it? If you're like me, you will. Remember what he said. Your mist magic is very captivating, but your number one issue is that you toy too much with your opponents, and one day that is going to catch up with you. And guess what? It did. She was toying with this chick, trying to boast like, oh, I'm the royalty, you can't find me, whatever. And in one spell, one needle is all it took to take Nebra down. I just find that so fucking ironic that the one thing Julius Novachrono calls you out on is the reason you are down for the count right now. Basically leaving Solid to defend for himself. Now at this time we cut back to Nozel, Noel, and Zora have made it into the main mansion. They're witnessing the destruction that was caused by the elves. They're easily able to dispatch one of them. Zora takes off. He's like, you know what? In all honesty, fuck you royals. I'm gonna go do myself. But in reality, we see his inner monologue. We have to play this smart. These elves are super powerful. He's seen it firsthand how powerful Licht is. We have to play this smart. I'm assuming he's setting up fucking traps upon traps upon traps, but he takes off. And we get this this interesting moment, this brother and sister moment, where they're literally in front of the portrait of their mother, who is identical to Noelle. I believe her name is Aesir. Like, they're just the spitting image. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if they say later on that, Noelle is a clone or some shit. But obviously, the mother died through her childbirth, so I don't know. But yeah, they're just the spitting image. And we just get this kind of self-reflecting moment in Noelle, like, I'm so surprised I've returned to the home. And we see this kind of like, we see shifts in emotion. We've already seen some in Nozel, but when they bust in to save Solid, who's about to get attacked, and Noelle is there, and she's using Mana Skin, and then she unleashes, Sea Dragon Roar, hashtag this is the thumbnail. Like, it was just everything that Tabitha has set up with this family. How I've called them the silver assholes since day one, the pouring of the water, beating Solid in the Royal Knight ceremony, like just this animosity in this whole family. It's all coalescing into this setup, which I hope has an amazing payoff. We know that she's gonna don some new armor, but at the same time, I want emotional development as far as familial. I want progression. I know they're not just gonna be buddy-buddy right off the back, but they have to move past whatever is going on, because in the end, they're fucking family, and that's all they have left. I mean, I don't know where the fuck the father is. The mother's dead. But yeah, we just see this awe-inspiring moment where Solid is surprised that, Noelle is there and powering up and shit, and even Nebra quotes like, I'm just in the fucking way, so I'm gonna, escape while I can, otherwise I'll just be a hindrance, a burden. Before anyone can really make any kind of move, the Compass chick is fucking ridiculous. Not only can she reflect spells and shit, change their trajectory based on obviously, directions, now she has summoned an all-encompassing, compass to where now the moves will never touch her ever again, and it seems, I think they're cordoned off now to this one area, and the episode ends. Whew. Like I said, I'm glad that this episode was better than the last. If you had to skip one, it'd be last one, but like I said, no scene is unimportant. No scene should be taken and cut down and considered less important than any other, because in the end, it's the subtle and small things that really make an anime amazing. And I really am glad that in today's episode, we got improvement, especially compared to last one. And like I said, I can tell that they're setting up something big, not only in Noelle's overall character progression, but I want to see something more in a familial progression. We get this awe-inspiring moment with, Nozel is battered and bruised after taking a couple hits for Solid, and we hear off in the distance that Noelle is muttering, and she's trying to psych herself up, and we see Nozel do this oh shit eyes. If you guys watched My Hero Academia, I'd call them the Aizawa eyes, where their eyes widen and like something's going to go down amazing. That. Something amazing is going to happen, and we see that. That's the physical response we see when someone's opinion or minds or just their overall thoughts are about to change, about to expand. 108, honestly, I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to it so much. So here's hoping that they put all their effort, all their main core staff, everything at it, because you know what? Noelle is my favorite female of the series. So honestly, I hope they don't do her dirty, because the water armor looks so fucking good, especially in the revised opening. If you guys haven't seen it, there's a couple YouTube videos where they compare and contrast, openings or, episodes versus, the Blu-ray versions. Like, go watch that. Like, they've improved it. Like, she looked amazing in the first part, and then they've improved upon that. And then in the preview, like, water armor looks amazing. I'm just really, 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 really excited. So with that being said, I cannot wait for future episodes.